This is Frank.
I see things most people don't ever see.
He gave up a life in Hawaii to fly over farm fields in the Midwest.
And you're by yourself. I actually turn the radio off. I usually don't listen to the radio. It's just you're like in a groove doing it.
Kind of like a bird up there just flying.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
He's about to show us why as we take you to the sky in this special American Drive. One thing I can always count on when hanging out with my friend and nature photographer Jay Wolf is we're going to meet some interesting people and capture some amazing images we will never forget.
He just left the field right here. Let's go set up there because he'll be back like in 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
My name's Frank Owsley and I'm an aerial applicator. I basically put products on crops to prevent disease. I started doing it in 2002. I was about 40 and I guess I had a midlife crisis, so here I am. I actually lived in Hawaii and I came back to do this. So
You lived in Hawaii and came back to do this?
Correct.
He tried a few things like race cars and even dragsters, all yellow of course.
But for no other reason than I have a bunch of that yellow paint.
But these days, he focuses on his love of flying.
It's actually a lot of fun to do it. It really is, and you're out there by yourself. You're not really dependent on anyone else, and it's just like you get to zoom around. You're sort of like, I always think of myself as like a dolphin swimming through the ocean or something. So yeah, it's really fun.
Do you remember your first run, by the way?
Oh yeah, I do. It was over in by Leland, Illinois. Yeah, I remember that it was in a Pawnee. That was quite a bit smaller aircraft. But
What were you thinking when you were flying?
I was scared to death that first pass. You want to know the truth. This isn't for everyone. I went through a school, and to be quite honest with you, the people that go through the school, about 5% of them make it. It's just not for everybody.
Why is that? What is it about it?
Well, everybody watches and they think you're doing all these aerobatics and stuff, and what it is you're flying an airplane that's loaded extremely heavy, and it's more like a real delicate dance than it is aerobatics.
So of course, we got to see what this delicate dance is all about. We got a half dozen cameras, got to find places to put them. On the wings, a couple on the dash, the drone, the 2 on the ground. I think that should cover it. While we show you what he sees, he is sharing his amazing story with me safely on the ground.
Have you had any close calls?
I've hit a couple wires in 17, 18 years. I've hit 2 wires. So,
What happens when you hit a wire?
oh, it just comes up on the windshield of the airplane, and you hear it go thump. That's all it does. So, it's not like it jerks the plane or anything.
Then you have to call someone and say, hey, I think I just broke your line.
Usually by the time I've hit the wire and time I get back, somebody's already called the power company.
So there's not a concern when you hit the power lines that it's going to electrify your airplane?
It actually does. The key, see like there's 2 wires, and the key is to hit both wires so they short together and melt.
If you don't, what could happen?
It could possibly pull you down. When I hit one in Michigan with a weatherly, and it actually, as it drug down the airplane, it left little burn marks, and then when it exited the tail, it burned a hole about that big.
Wow.
When he's not avoiding power lines and whatever else, there is a peace up here.
What you're doing is helping the farmers, because instead of them, the cost and the time to drive through the fields, which takes a lot of time, you can do that in considerably less time?
I can do it considerably less time, plus I don't leave any wheel tracks.
But on occasion, his own wheels do leave some tracks.
I've got a totally different perspective, and that's, I see things most people don't ever see. But I see it pretty up close in detail because I'm fairly low. I actually turn the radio off. I usually don't listen to the radio. It's just you're like in a groove doing it.
Kind of like a bird up there just flying.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
Let's turn off our sound and let the sights take you away. Time to land and fill back up for another run. I'm eager to see if my GoPro stayed in place or if I'll be spending the rest of this day walking through bean fields. And soon, he's off again, heading into the wild blue yonder, living his dream, planning for his next adventure.
I sail sailboats, and I want to just go sail away. People don't believe that, but that's what I want to do.
So take it from air to water now.
Yeah. Well, sailing's pretty much just like flying, because that sail's actually an airfoil, like a wing of an airplane.
If you like this story, we have a lot more just like it, literally taking off on our YouTube channel right now. Please subscribe, share, tell a friend. This is The Heart of the Story with Gary Metivier.